In a world that rewards loud voices, it's easy to believe that those who speak the most, shout the hardest, or constantly make announcements are the ones in control. But real power is never about volume. It's about impact. True strength doesn't come from how much attention you demand. It comes from the undeniable proof of what you have achieved. Think about it. The strongest trees don't grow by making noise. They grow quietly, day by day, putting down deep roots, weathering storms, and standing tall without fanfare. Similarly, individuals, businesses, and nations that truly lead don't waste energy in endless debates or emotional outbursts. They focus on building, on creating results so powerful that the world cannot ignore them. Noise is often a sign of insecurity, a way to mask a lack of substance. But when you know you're on the right path, when you have a clear vision and a well thought out plan, you don't need to prove yourself with words. You let your results speak for you. Every milestone achieved, every goal met, every barrier broken, these become your voice, and that voice echoes louder than any speech. History has shown us that some of the most impactful moves are made in silence. Strategies are crafted behind closed doors. Innovations are developed away from the spotlight, and victories are often won before the world even realizes a battle has been fought. This is because power lies not in constant action for attention, but in focused action for achievement. When you stay silent and work, you also gain another advantage. Surprise! Your competitors expect you to respond immediately, to reveal your plans, to give them a chance to counter you. But when you resist that urge and let them underestimate you, you turn the game in your favor. In the end, results are the ultimate truth. Words can be twisted, stories can be spun, but results are undeniable and wow. And those results are built quietly, strategically, and consistently. They carry a weight that no amount of noise can match. That is what true power looks like. Calm on the surface, unstoppable in action, and undeniable in outcome. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, silence is often misunderstood. People see it as inaction, as hesitation, or even as weakness. But the truth is, silence is one of the most powerful tools any person, leader, or nation can use. It is in silence that ideas take shape, plans are refined, and strategies are built to withstand the tests of time. Silence is the pause between moves in a chess game. It is the moment when the player studies the board, calculates every possibility, and prepares the perfect move. If you act too quickly, driven by noise and pressure, you make mistakes. But if you hold your ground, stay calm, and use silence wisely, you position yourself to strike with precision. Great strategies are not born in the chaos of shouting matches or the glare of constant public attention. They are nurtured in quiet rooms among minds focused on the long-term vision. Silence gives you the freedom to think without distraction, to analyze without pressure, and to innovate without the constant judgment of the outside world. Silence also serves as a shield. When you do not reveal your every thought or move, you protect yourself from those who wish to sabotage or compete against you. You keep your strengths hidden and your weaknesses invisible. Your silence becomes a mystery, and mystery is a powerful advantage. It keeps others guessing while you quietly prepare. For those who misunderstand silence, it can be dangerous. They may believe you are passive, disengaged, or unprepared, but that underestimation works in your favor. While they relax, thinking you are no threat, you are quietly setting the stage for your success. And when the time comes to act, your move is not only unexpected, but it is unstoppable. Silence is not the absence of action. It is the preparation for decisive action. It is not a lack of strength. It is the patient building of power. The greatest victories are often won before the first shot is fired, and silence is the battleground where those victories are forged. When used with purpose, silence is not a void, it is a weapon. And in the hands of those who understand it, it can reshape the balance of power. In today's world, most players are obsessed with quick wins. They chase headlines, short-term gains, and instant validation. But in doing so, they often sacrifice the bigger picture. The short game may bring fast rewards, but it rarely builds lasting success. This is where India's approach stands apart. It is not trapped by the urgency of the moment. Instead, it plays the long game with patience, persistence, and vision. The long game is about building foundations so strong that they can support decades of growth. It means investing in sectors that may not pay off tomorrow, but will change the future. While others rush to make loud statements or quick moves for immediate applause, India is quietly strengthening its economy, upgrading its infrastructure, empowering its people, and creating systems that will outlast political cycles and market trends. This mindset is not just about patience, it's about foresight. It's about seeing opportunities where others see only obstacles. When a short-term thinker sees a challenge, they try to fix it as quickly as possible. But a long-term thinker like India looks deeper. How can this challenge become an advantage 5, 10, or even 20 years from now? The long game also requires discipline. It means resisting the temptation to react emotionally to every provocation or distraction. Many nations and leaders are pulled into conflicts or controversies that drain their resources and focus. But by choosing the long game, India understands that every distraction avoided is energy saved for building something greater. History rewards those who think beyond the present moment. Empires rise and fall not because of one battle or one deal, but because of the choices they make consistently over time. The long game is slow, but its rewards are lasting. It transforms not just the scoreboard of today, but the direction of the future. India's quiet patience is not inactivity. It's preparation. It's the understanding that while others sprint, sometimes you win the race by walking steadily in the right direction. And when the short-term players exhaust themselves, the long-term player is still moving forward, stronger than ever. That is the essence of India's rise. A vision rooted not in next week or next year, but in the decades to come. In competition, whether in business, politics, or global influence, perception is as important as reality. If your opponent sees you as a threat, they will prepare, strategize, and counter every move you make. But if they believe you are harmless, they lower their guard. And that is when you have the greatest opportunity to strike. Underestimation is a strategic advantage. When your rivals think you lack the resources, the intelligence, or the willpower, were to challenge them, they become overconfident. They stop paying attention to your growth. They stop preparing for your rise. They may even dismiss your achievements as luck. This false sense of security blinds them, and that blindness becomes your weapon. India has mastered this art on the world stage. For years, many global powers saw it as a developing country with potential but limited influence. They measured it only by its present, never by its future. And while they underestimated it, India was quietly building, strengthening its economy, developing its technology sector, expanding its diplomatic ties, and increasing its military capability. By the time the world realized its true strength, the shift in power was already happening. This approach works because it gives you the element of surprise. A sudden move from an underestimated player feels 10 times more impactful because it's unexpected. The opponent is not prepared, their defenses are weak, and their strategy is outdated. In that moment, you hold all the leverage. However, this tactic requires humility and patience. You must be willing to let others talk over you, dismiss you, and even mock you without reacting emotionally. Every insult is just camouflage for your true capability. Every doubt they throw your way is another layer hiding your real strength. History is filled with stories where underestimated leaders, companies, or nations outperformed the giants they were competing against. The victory is sweeter not because you won, but because you won on your own terms, at your own pace, while your opponent never saw it coming. The best wins are the ones your rivals don't prepare for. And the best way to achieve them is simple. Let them believe you can't win until you already have. In any competitive arena, whether it's business, politics, or global diplomacy, chaos is a constant. Emotions run high, pressure mounts, and the temptation to act quickly can be overwhelming. But in such moments, the one who remains calm has the greatest advantage. A calm mind is not just peaceful, It is powerful. It sees beyond the immediate noise and focuses on the entire picture. Think of a chess game. The novice focuses only on the piece they want to move next. The master looks at the entire board, every piece, every possibility, every consequence. In the same way, a calm mind steps back and sees not just the problem in front of it, but the opportunities and risks scattered across the landscape. It understands that one move can trigger a chain of events and that success comes not from rushing, but from choosing the right move at the right time. A calm mind can anticipate the opponent's actions. It notices patterns others overlook, while the emotional player reacts to each provocation. The calm player thinks 2, 3, or even 10 steps ahead. This foresight is what turns potential setbacks into strategic advantages. Staying calm also prevents costly mistakes. When fear, anger, or excitement take control, decisions become short-sighted. Resources are wasted, opportunities are missed, and the opponent gains the upper hand. But calmness creates clarity. It allows you to filter out the noise, focus on the essentials, and act with precision. This is exactly how India navigates complex global challenges. While others rush to respond, seeking instant headlines, India observes, analyzes, and then acts with calculated intent. It doesn't fight every battle, but it chooses the ones that matter most and wins them. Calmness is not inaction. It is controlled action. It is the discipline to wait for the right opening, even when the pressure to act immediately is intense. And when that opening comes, the calm mind moves decisively, often changing the entire course of the game. In the end, leadership is not about moving the fastest. It's about moving the smartest. And only a calm mind can see the whole chessboard, plan the winning strategy, and make the move that changes everything. In a world where every statement, action, or rumor can spark an immediate reaction, it is easy to fall into the trap of constant response. Many leaders and nations waste valuable time and energy answering every criticism, countering every move, and engaging in every conflict. But reaction is often a distraction. It pulls you away from your real goals. India understands this, which is why it chooses preparation over reaction. Reaction is short-term thinking. It is driven by emotion, by the pressure of the moment, and by the desire to appear strong in the eyes of others. But strength is not about how loudly or quickly you respond. It's about how ready you are for the challenges ahead. Preparation, on the other hand, is quiet, deliberate, and strategic. It's about building the capacity to win before the battle even begins. By not reacting to every provocation, India avoids being dragged into unnecessary confrontations. It conserves its resources, whether those are political capital, economic strength, or military capability, and channels them into long-term readiness. This means investing in infrastructure, education, technology, defense, and diplomacy, all of which position the country to act from a place of strength when the time is right. Preparation also sends a silent message to potential challengers. We're not distracted, we're focused. And focus is a force multiplier. When you know where you are going and what you are building, outside noise becomes irrelevant. Instead of fighting small, unimportant battles, you prepare for the decisive moments that truly shape the future. History shows that those who are prepared rarely need to fight as often. Because, see, readiness itself acts as a deterrent. When your opponent knows you are ready, they think twice before provoking you. And if they do, your response will not be rushed or emotional, but precise and overwhelming. India's strategy is not about ignoring the world. It's about understanding that the best answer to provocation is success. Every time it chooses preparation over reaction, it strengthens its position, making its eventual moves more impactful and harder to counter. In the long run, those who prepare will always outlast those who only react. And India is proving that preparation, not provocation, is the real path to power. In any gathering, whether it's a boardroom, a political summit, or a global stage, the loudest voice often draws the most attention. People assume that volume equals authority, that those who speak the most and the loudest must be the ones in control. But history and experience tell a different story. The most powerful person is not always the one speaking. It is often the one listening, observing, and making moves quietly in the background. Loudness can create the illusion of strength, but it often hides insecurity. Those who constantly need to assert themselves may be seeking validation, not demonstrating real authority. True influence does not need constant affirmation. It works subtly, building relationships, shaping opinions, and creating change without fanfare. Quiet influence is more strategic. It does not waste energy on every argument or distraction. Instead, it focuses on making decisive contributions that shift the course of events. It works behind the scenes, guiding outcomes without demanding the spotlight. When such influence is revealed, it often surprises people because they didn't see it coming. But by then, its impact is already locked in. India embodies this principle in its rise on the global stage. While others dominate headlines with bold statements or aggressive moves, India steadily builds alliances, strengthens its economy, and advances in technology and innovation. It doesn't need to announce every achievement. The results speak for themselves. This quiet approach makes its progress harder to predict and harder to counter. The strength of quiet influence lies in its persistence. Loudness can grab attention for a moment, but quiet influence works steadily over time, shaping narratives and decisions until change feels inevitable. It's like a river carving through rock, not by force in a single moment, but by consistent, unstoppable movement over years. The loudest person may win the moment, but the quiet influencer wins the future. They are not distracted by applause or criticism. They understand that real power is not about being seen all the time. It's about being felt when it matters most. In the end, noise fades, but influence remains. And the kind that works quietly is the kind that no one can stop. In a fast-moving world, there is constant pressure to act quickly, to grab every opportunity the moment it appears. People fear that waiting means losing, but in reality, chasing opportunities without thought can be just as dangerous as missing them. True power lies in patience, the discipline to wait for the right moment rather than rushing into the wrong one. Patience is not laziness, it is strategy. Timing. It means knowing that not every door needs to be opened immediately and not every offer is worth accepting. When you act in haste, you may gain short-term rewards but lose long-term advantages. When you act with patience, you give yourself time to study the situation, understand the risks, and position yourself for maximum benefit. Opportunities have a way of revealing themselves to those who are prepared. If you are constantly chasing them, you might run into traps, deals that look attractive on the surface but hide dangerous consequences. But if you stay patient, keep building your strength, and maintain your focus, the right opportunities will naturally come to you. And when they do, you'll be ready to take them without hesitation. India's approach to global politics and economics reflects this wisdom. Instead of reacting to every shift in global dynamics, it waits, watches, and positions itself strategically. When alliances form, when markets shift, or when new technologies emerge, India is ready to step in at the right time. Not too early, not too late. This patience ensures that it enters situations from a position of strength, not desperation. Patience also sends a powerful message to the world. You are not desperate, you are confident enough to wait, and that confidence draws opportunities toward you. Just like a strong brand attracts customers without aggressive advertising, a strong and patient nation attracts partnerships without chasing them. The greatest victories often come to those who wait, not because they do nothing, but because they prepare while others rush blindly ahead. Patience is the art of allowing the world to come to you, knowing that when the right moment arrives, you will be ready to move with precision and power. In the end, patience doesn't slow you down. It positions you to win. In today's world, where social media rewards instant updates and constant announcements, there is a temptation to share every step of the journey. Many believe that talking about their plans makes them look strong and confident. But the truth is, the more you reveal too early, the more vulnerable you become. Great builders understand that real power lies in secrecy during the process and surprise at the finish. When you announce your plans too soon, you invite two risks: competition and interference. Competitors can copy your ideas, adapt faster, and try to get ahead of you. Opponents can sabotage your progress before you've even finished. But when you work quietly, away from unnecessary attention, you protect your vision and give it the space it needs to grow without external pressure. Building in silence is not about hiding forever. It's about protecting the process until it is strong enough to stand on its own. It's about ensuring that when the world sees your work, it sees it in its full strength, not as an unfinished draft. This approach makes the reveal not just a moment of achievement, but a moment of undeniable impact. India's rise in several fields follows this principle. While others broadcast every move, India often works behind the scenes, strengthening industries, advancing technology, and building diplomatic relationships without constant public declarations. Then, when the results are ready, they are presented with confidence, leaving the world surprised and impressed. Unveiling is different from announcing. An announcement says, we plan to do this. An unveiling says, we've already done it, and here it is. The difference is power. Announcements create expectations you must then live up to under constant watch. Unveilings create impact because they come as a complete, undeniable reality. The most powerful moments in history are rarely the ones people talked about in advance. They are the ones no one saw coming. That is the essence of this principle. Protect your work, nurture your vision, and when the time is right, let your success speak for itself. In the end, greatness doesn't need to be promised. It needs to be proven. And proof, when revealed at the perfect moment, changes everything. Power on the global stage is rarely taken in one dramatic moment. It is built over years, often decades, through consistent action and a clear sense of direction. Many nations lose their way because they are too busy reacting to others, trying to match every move, or chasing temporary victories. India has taken a different path. By staying focused on its own vision, it has quietly and steadily shifted the balance of power in its favor. This focus has meant refusing to be distracted by short-term noise. While others are caught in cycles of provocation and retaliation, India invests its energy in long-term priorities, strengthening its economy, developing world-class technology, modernizing its military, and cultivating diplomatic relationships that open doors for the future. Each of these efforts, though not always headline-grabbing, adds another layer to its influence. The result is a steady accumulation of power that is harder to challenge because it is not built on showmanship. It is built on substance. Economic growth fuels military strength. Military readiness supports diplomatic confidence. Diplomatic trust expands trade and global partnerships. Piece by piece, India has built a foundation so strong that it can compete with and even surpass many long-established powers. This shift has not happened loudly. There were no grand declarations of dominance, no constant self-congratulation. Instead, India allowed its results to speak. A growing economy that ranks among the largest in the world, a technology sector that rivals global leaders, a space program achieving milestones with efficiency, and a voice in international affairs that can no longer be ignored. The quiet nature of this transformation is part of its strength. Because the change happened gradually, many underestimated its scale until it became impossible to overlook. Now the global balance is different. And India stands not as a follower, but as a key player shaping the future. This is the power of vision. When you know where you're going and you commit to the journey, you don't need constant validation. You simply keep building until the world has no choice but to acknowledge your rise. India's story proves that focus is not just a strategy. It is a force that can shift the balance of power itself. In a world obsessed with speed, noise, and instant recognition, India has chosen a different path, a path of silence, patience, and vision. It has shown that power is not about shouting the loudest or moving the fastest. It is about seeing further, preparing deeper, and acting with precision when the moment is right. Every quiet move, every calculated step, every choice to prepare instead of react has brought it closer to a future where it is not just participating in the global game, it is shaping it. And now, without declaring victory, without demanding attention, India stands as proof that the most unstoppable forces are often the ones the world never saw coming. The message is clear. True strength does not need to be announced. It is revealed. And when it is, it changes everything.